So I am out today at a beautiful space. I do live in the desert, so it's really we're landlocked basically, but I'm at a place where there's a man-made lake, and the sun is just hitting me like the Most High directed me to come out here today. I am going through a lot of spiritual attacks, as expected, of someone who has been chosen for a special assignment, and I know what my special assignment is for God. So when you become aware of your assignment and awakened at the same time, basically, your connection to God is extremely high, powerful. I hear a lot of messages from God directing me more clearly than ever, because before I was not awakened, even though I was still a kind person, a person who was not out for evil, caring, helping others more than I helped myself. But as I learned about toxicity, narcissistic personality disorder, demonic entities, through my relationships, mainly my nuclear family and that I grew up with, and toxic relationships, that be friendships or marriages, I started to study who are these people and why are they coming in my life, and why do I keep attracting them. And it was in the year 2020 when a lot of us awakened folks got that jilt. I don't know if it was because we were quarantined. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic. I don't know what it was, but spiritually it was a very significant year. And if you were going to be awakened, that was definitely the year that a lot of people have been. Not to say you cannot still be. But the thing about that is, now that I am awakened, I'm healing my inner child. I understand the issues that I have been having throughout my life because of abuse, emotional abuse that I suffered. Me and my brother and my sister suffered at the hands of my maternal mother, because she has a lot of spiritual demons within, and I understand what that looks like and how that can affect children who were raised by narcissistic parents. And like I said in my other videos, narcissistic personality disorder is not just a mental illness. It is a demonic spiritual phenomenon, I guess I could say. So you can't just look at the mental illness. Yeah, you can look at the traits and the behaviors, but you gotta go deeper and see what is driving that person to do these things. And as abusive as it was, now a lot of people would say to me, "You weren't abused. Nobody hit you," and that is probably the most ignorant. Ignorant meaning you're not educated in that area thing that someone can say. Abuse is not physical only. That's just a piece of it. Abuse shows up in so many ways. Abuse can show up in so many ways, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, neglect, telling you to shut up, not having your voice, telling you you're not going to be anything. Abuse is so widespread. It's not just physical. So anyway, now that I'm awakened, now that I am fully in my life purpose, which is, this channel is part of my life purpose, to share my life explain what I've gone through so that other people who are experiencing this, who know something is wrong, but they just can't put their finger on it. Like, that's how I was. But I'm a researcher by nature. No matter what I do, even if I'm baking cookies, I'm going to research the best way I can bake those cookies, with the best ingredients. So that's just me naturally. So I'm taking my inner child healing and my spiritual healing very, very seriously. I don't play around with it. In the beginning, it was pretty hard knowing that a lot of this abuse came from people who I thought loved me. And although I was the victim, I don't walk around with a victim badge on my chest. Yes, it did happen. Yes, they were the blame of the abuse. Absolutely. But I did forgive them only so that I can elevate, move on, and not be a bitter person. Because if you don't forgive them, and forgiveness doesn't mean, oh, I forgive them so I got to be around them. No, I forgave them and cut off communication. I don't talk to my family. I may text my mother every once in a while to see how she's doing, but that's it. I don't engage in any deep conversations. If she starts to get into any, and this is text messaging, I do not call her because I have to be in control of my boundaries, which I never had before. The funny thing that I learned was, I was like, why do I have to have boundaries with my family? Yeah, I'm not going to let nobody harm me, but I didn't even think I should have boundaries with my family or my spouse. But I learned the hard way that yes, you do, with every human being, even your children, of course. But anyway, as I heal, as I grow, I just feel amazing because I'm finally learning about who I am and the great things about myself, the things that I didn't think were there, or the things that toxic people said I didn't possess or didn't have. I have them. And I feel completely amazing. And although I'm a private person, so sharing this with people that I don't know on a public platform is extremely weird for me. I don't feel really uncomfortable because I don't care who knows what I went through if it's going to help them. But it's just weird at the same time because people can make comments and those types of things. But I have to do what God has called me to do, and that is to share my life, which is what I'm doing. I say all that to say, I have a business that helps people in a certain capacity. I won't get too much into it, but my past clients were not happy with my service, but it wasn't so much my service. It was it's something personal that they don't like about me, or that they are envious or jealous of. Now, as I'm learning about the traits of narcissistic people, or people that have that demonic entity, there are certain traits, and those are two of them. They could be jealous of you, and mind you, they can have more material things in you, but they're jealous of your light. That's the thing, your light, your energy. They know when you are that chosen one, who are not better than, chosen ones are not better than anyone else. Chosen ones are those who God specifically chose to fulfill an assignment for him. So he protects us in ways that he does not protect others. It's an extra level. He sends us messages, but God cannot fully use us until we heal. He sends so many messages, and he did send messages to me, but I was just like, I heard them, but I was like, okay, now what? Because I was so enthralled with toxic people, my family, my friends, my managers at work, clients, husbands, boyfriends, that it was blocking my communication. So picture myself here, right? This is all those toxic people, places, and things, and then God is here. So God couldn't fully get to me because I was so enthralled and around all of these people. And I noticed as I started getting rid of these people, because he was sending me messages and I was getting some, and he was like, you got to remove yourself. And I'm like, from my mom? He's like, if she's toxic and coming between you and I, yes. And that was probably, I wouldn't say the hardest thing to do, but it was the hardest thing to understand until I kept researching. And yes, if people, places or things are toxic and they're getting between you and God, you think he's going to be like, oh no, continue to let them be before me. No, he's going to say, get rid of them, because my assignment is more important than any person, place, or thing. Any person, place, or thing. So let's get back to the matter at hand. So my clients were not satisfied with me, and it's hard to not take it personally, but anytime someone with that demonic entity attacks you, it's not personal, it's spiritual. Please understand the difference. When you change your mindset, or work on changing your mindset, and know that these attacks are spiritual and not personal, it helps you to not hold resentment, fear, get angry, because anytime you do that, now you're taking a step back. You're not going to be in the fullness of your spiritual journey to fight this war. We are in a spiritual war, including the things that you see going on in the world. This world is run by narcissists with demonic entities. That is why shit is the way it is. They destroy nature. They destroy people. They can walk up to somebody and shoot them and just walk away and go drink coffee with their friends. Do you think somebody that isn't demonically possessed can do that? I couldn't do that. Now, if somebody's hurting me or my family, it's on. It's on. But unjustified, humanely, to just hurt people and animals and pollute water and poison the food and the water that you're serving to people, that shit is demonic. It's a spiritual war. So when my clients brought a case against me to try to say that I wronged them, at first I was shocked, number one. Across the nation, hundreds of clients for the past 10 years, and have never gotten any type of pushback from it. So when this happened, I was very shocked and I was very upset, because I worked very hard. I work very hard in my business for my clients to be satisfied, to walk away with a happy experience. So anyway, I had to go to this hearing about this case, and I had legal backing from the, I guess I could say, the brokerage that I am connected with. And I knew that this was not about the service. It was about them attacking me because all the other things and people that Satan has tried to bring into my life to destroy me, to take things away from me, to further abuse me, has not worked. Yeah, it penetrated in some ways, but when I think about it as being spiritual, I rise above that. I do my Psalms praying, I take my spiritual baths, I meditate, and come out into nature, get into the sun, because those are the things that cleanse me, that help protect me not beyond, but in addition to how God is protecting me against it. Because guess what? God is never going to allow anything to come between him and his people. The people who honor him, the people who respect him, the people who are chosen for an assignment to fulfill his mission. He's not going to ever let anyone come between that. I have a mission, and no one, no thing, no place is going to stop me. Especially now that I'm awake, I'm like, wow. When I became awakened, which was actually a year ago today. Now, my eyes started opening in 2020, but I was still married to a toxic person, around toxic people, friends, places. But from 2020 to 2025, beginning of 2020, end of 2024, 2025, I was doing my work. So my eyes were slowly opening. But when my eyes were like, bam, my whole life played in my head. And I was like, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Why I had to go through so much. Why I have excelled. But it was a struggle. I mean, when I tell you everything was an uphill battle. So the life of a chosen one isn't easy. But you are always set on a path to do God's mission, but you have to do your work. You cannot be addicted to things. So I had to stop, overeating or eating too much sugar or watching certain things or doing certain things or making excuses to do certain things, because the things that I was doing wasn't like horrible. But though, whenever you have an addiction to something, and it could be TV, it's blocking your receptivity to the Creator. That is another thing that is in between, blocking you from truly hearing God. I do not date. I do not watch things that are going to affect my spirit. I don't listen to bad music. I'm not around people who are toxic. People, places, and things had to get rid of. So let's go back, because I keep digressing, but I'm sorry. The Spirit is leading me. When I thought about the case that was brought against me and saw it as a spiritual thing, it helped me to see that I cannot take what they did personally. I have to see it as a spiritual attack and treat it as such. Because if I don't treat it as a spiritual attack, then I'm not going to see the true reason why this is happening. This is happening because the Most High wants me to see that no matter what comes against me, no matter who doesn't like me or tries to do this, that I have to fight against it spiritually and understand that another one of my tasks is to bring down any demonic being that is attacking others and that are attacking me. And now that I am awakened and I'm connected and I understand what this is, I can recognize them in a picture. I can recognize them in a crowd. I feel their energies. I can watch and see someone's behavior and see if they have some traits of that or if they're fully taken over by a demon. And it may sound crazy, but if you know, you know. And some people who have not been awakened but have an inkling, save this video. And when you start seeing these type of things that resonate with you, watch this video again and it will make sense to you. Most people are not, it's going to go right over their head. And that's not to disrespect, because it used to go over mine. But as you grow, you heal, and you learn, you're going to understand that these attacks are spiritual. They're not personal. So during the case, man, during the hearing, these people were disrespecting me, calling me incompetent, calling me basically dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. And I know, even though I know it's not true, part of me was like, wow, this is really crazy, you know? And the panel who will be deciding on the results of this hearing, they were just kind of like, I know that, I don't know if all, but I know a good amount of them are going to be like, this person is crazy. I mean, I allowed her to do a lot of talking. I was very silent. I tried my best not to give too many gestures, even though I do wear my heart on my sleeve. I did not get emotional because I wanted them to see just how crazy and demonic she is. And hopefully they did see that she was lying. Then one thing, when I got back home, you know how you get back home and you're like, man, maybe I should have said this. Man, I should have said this. I did that with one thing, and I did that for like a couple of hours. I was saying that, and then God was like, no, you said and did exactly what I wanted you to do. Because another thing I forgot to tell you, I brought my scriptures. I prayed. I had some little things that I carry on me for like spiritual protection. I create what's called an aura spray that will kind of clear the energy of the room. I sprayed that in the room, you know, before the hearing and everything. So spiritually, I was prepared because I knew that this was going to be a whole shit show, which it was on her part. When I got home that next day, I just kept thinking about it. And I was like, you know what, God? I did what I was supposed to do. I felt your guidance. I have no regrets. And I know that I did and represented you and myself in a way that I was supposed to. And I started thinking, God started putting things, because now I hear from God so much more clear, and I don't doubt nothing that I hear, you know? Like if I'm about to go somewhere and God is like, do not go. I'm not going to tell you why, just don't go. I won't go. Before, I wouldn't say that I went anyway, but I was like, oh, I'm just going to pray. God is going to protect me and I'll go anyway. So God started sending me what I call crown loads. I got that term from somebody that I study, because I do a lot of studying with this every day about spirituality, my inner child, and narcissistic personality disorder and the deep demonic entities. I study this pretty much every day because your healing journey is continuous. You never arrive, right? But anyway, I started recalling a few things that was in the hearing, and one was the husband that put this claim against me is in the military, and he said something during the hearing that really bothered me. I'm a hard person to shake, but when he said this, it gave me pause. I'm not fearful of anything, but it did give me pause. And I won't say it because I do have to report this. And God told me, he said, this is a problem here, and I want you to look into it. And that's all I'm going to say right now. But what he said was not good, was not a smart move for him. I will just say that. And this is not a tit for tat situation. And at first I was like, oh, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. I just want this to end. But God was like, no, I'm not telling you about this issue for you to just keep it to yourself and not do anything about it. I'm telling you about this issue because this is part of your mission. You have to shut this shit down, one fucking toxic person at a time. You are going to do what I tell you. because this is part of your mission and it's a part of your healing. So as I slay each of these dragons, I'm growing spiritually and I'm fulfilling part of the mission that I was born to fulfill. Chosen ones are born, they're not made. I was chosen from birth, and that is why I was birthed into a family, with the exception of my dad, who passed away 26 years. If it was not for my dad, who is an empath like me, I would have been caught up in the monotony that my mother, brother, and sister was, which is toxic, demonic behaviors. I was born into that family of that mother, brother, and sister to shape me, mold me, bend me. I was never broken. And I hate when people say you're broken, because if you break something, you cannot fix it. Now, chosen ones are bent, never broken. Narcissistic people are broken because they cannot be fixed. Everybody thinks that, oh, you can go to a therapist and get some medicine and you can't put a demon in therapy and give him medicine. That's an entity, a demonic one. Now, I can't sit up here and say that God cannot heal them. That is not my call. But no damn medicine can, and no damn therapist can. Chosen ones are bent. They are never broken. Because if I was broken, I would not have been able to heal. And I am healed. And I'm on a healing journey. So I'm healed, but I continue to be on the journey to stay healed and to continue to grow, learn, and do the work of God. So that's a message to y'all. Please make some comments. Let me know if you're experiencing any of this. If you want any more information, hit me up. Let me know. I'll post my email in the description, and just support me. Throw me a like, because I need to get this message out here. My audience is going to be part of the people who help me get my message out to others so that I can help fulfill my mission, because it is a very important one. Thank you so much for your time. Be safe, and God bless.